Great. So I know all of us have gathered here today to talk about innovations in healthcare that's happening across the globe. Not just in India, but across the globe. And if you really look at different perspectives, different ideologies that are happening in terms of innovation, there is a transition that is happening in the healthcare domain. And I will be talking on payments, the future of payments. Now, if you all remember, when we were kids, the predominant payment methodologies or the payment options that we were using were, anybody from the audience? Cash? Okay. Anything else? So, say for example, you go into a hospital and you have to make payment. So, cash was one method. What was the other payment method that you had? Card? Seriously? 10 years back? Checks? Okay. And if you just go back a little bit, just before the pre-demonetization period, we still had cards, but here and there, not every shop or every place having cards. So, cash, check, and some card payments here and there. But if we come today and move to the today's situation and scenario, what are the payment methods that are available to us? Anybody? Say that again? What else? Insurances, okay. So, come today, so many payment options. You have behemoths like Amazon also getting into the payment domain. And they've launched something called as Amazon Pay. In the morning we heard about, in the session, Amazon has also entered into healthcare with Amazon Care. And it's not going to stop there. They're going to be moving in and expanding their vision. And not just Amazon, multiple other companies also going to be stepping in. And these payment options are not the options that are limited. If we really go back 10 years, we wouldn't have even thought that there would be something called as UPI. There would be something called as a Google Pay or a Phone Pay or an Amazon Pay. We wouldn't think about it. There are cab aggregators who jumped into this domain, like Ola has come up with Ola Money. And when we look at this whole perspective, what do we really see? That these payment options, the availability of the payment options to a consumer, to a person, to an individual, is there. But the utilization of that hasn't happened. And all of that, we're going to talk about what the future holds. We'll be real quick after this small video, which will give you a little glimpse on what the future holds and what the payments are going to look like. manufactured and created. And that's exactly how the future is going to look like. And what does the future really hold for us? The payment options, payment methods are only going to increase. Do you agree? Right? With cryptocurrencies, with AIs getting into the picture, with Bitcoins also coming into the picture, it's only going to increase. When we talk into the healthcare specific domain, how many of you have also, some of you would have also been patients, and how many of you would have expected flexibility while making a payment for your healthcare bills? How many of you? Flexibility. Nobody wants flexibility in healthcare bills? Oh yes, we have quite a few people. Okay. Patients and payers expect retail-like payments. So 5 years back, when we were going into a McDonald's or we were going into a shopping store, we were seeing that the whole system was speaking to each other. The systems were talking, the systems were integrated. Financing options, how many of you would really love if your healthcare bills could be into financing options? Somebody said EMI. Yes, somebody said EMI. So how many of you would really want an EMI option available to pay for your healthcare bills? A lot of people, yeah. We know the bills are going to increase. With the sophisticated technology coming in for treatments, we would want that. A lot of mobile focus is going on. There was a study that said about 52% of Gen Z can trade money and their friends for a full day charge of their phone battery. That's where the generation is headed towards. That's where the focus has to be mobile. Ease of payment and patient-focused payment platforms. Well, we all love that. Do we? Yes or no? We love that. I see a lot coming in. But with that, I can talk as much as I want about advanced payment options, multiple payment options, but there are problems to it as well. And if you don't address, we're not finding a solution. With multiple payment options, it means multiple integrations, increased manual efforts, unwanted complexity into the system, excessive maintenance costs, accessing, reconciling, and compiling data across multiple platforms. Now take all of that and figure out it will have a multiplier effect for a group of chain of hospitals. Do you agree? And that's one of the main reasons that adoptions of retail payment options, multiple payment options, has been slow in healthcare. Today, even if you walk into a hospital, the predominant option that we see right now, and I'm pretty honest about it, is either a card machine, some cash, and maybe a QR code scan. But that's not what payments is all about. And the hospitals, and this has been a research, that hospitals shy away from adopting it because of these problems. What is the solution? Say that again? A solution is the integrated system. Now, what is this integrated system? What would this integrated system do for you? What is the value that it's going to add for you? This integrated system is going to give you one platform that will have all the payment options available to you. You don't have to do 10 different integrations. You don't have to do 10 different reconciliations. You don't have to put manual efforts on daily basis to work on the accessibility of those reports. You don't have to put the manual efforts of your resources on finding out where is my transaction. Why has the settlement not happened? Where is my money lying? And if you don't have that information, you're not able to run your hospital. And one of the most important aspects of the healthcare delivery system is payments. It's the most important one, but the least talked about one. And we all know about this. So, here's the solution that's there, a payment hub. An integrated, comprehensive payment platform that helps you collect any type of payment available on the face of the earth. What we're doing is we're bringing in retail-like payment options for your patients, for your customers, for people who are coming in. And that's what we're providing the power in your hands and the hands of the hospital. How does a typical flow look like? So whenever a patient is walking in, the patient walks in is predominantly speaking with an HIS. And a lot of payment systems, they don't integrate with HIS systems. And that's where the traditional issue has been. And we've addressed that issue. You integrate just one time into an API and your work is done. With that API, you can access more than 16 payment options on the word go. And it totally depends on what are the payment options that you want to be enabled for your patients, what options you want them to use, that's totally up to you, the flexibility is totally up to you. Now what do you get when, everybody talks about, these sophisticated solutions, these advanced solutions, and when you really go deep into it, you find that what I really need is not coming true. And what somebody really addressed and said is going to give is not really delivering. And that's where we have this differentiation. You get a single integration, come what may, whatever the payment option, payment method that's entering into the market, you don't have to integrate it. It's already integrated into the platform. If not, we will integrate and we'll ensure that's available for you. Multiple payment options, POS payments, you have credit card machines, you have e-wallets, you have EMI financing options. A lot of people said that we would love to have EMI and financing options for paying your healthcare bills. With all of these things we've talked about, one of the straightforward and most important aspect has been data security. A lot of hospitals who we are working with in India, in US, in UAE, in UK, in Canada, have told us that data security has been one of their most important things. And whatever data exchange happens on our platform happens through an encryption. There's no data leakage, there's no information that goes out. Patient health information is safe and secure, and that's one of the most important aspects for any platform that's working in healthcare industry. As a company, as an organization, as a platform, we are PCI compliant, we are PHI compliant, we are HIPAA compliant, we are SOC 5 compliant. We talk of the compliances and we've already ticked off all of these boxes. In terms of your reports, in terms of reconciliation, what you get is one single reconciliated report. Your one single reconciliated report includes your card payments, your wallet payments, your cash payments, your online payments, your check payments, everything reconciled. HIS level record by record reconciliation available to you by 10 a.m. in the morning. The next day it will be in your email box and you can access it. A consolidated reporting in a customized way, whatever format, whatever way you need. If you need it in batches, if you need it on daily basis, if you need it on hourly basis, can be delivered to you through email. We have fraud prevention checks and whatnot. A quick overview about us. We started in 2004 and we've been focusing only on healthcare and specifically in payments domain of healthcare. We've not gone around, we've not shopped around, we stay focused in healthcare, and that helps us customize and get the solution only for the healthcare domain. We work only towards that. We work really closely with all our hospitals, all the clinics, all the centers, and we ensure that the payment platform that we're delivering to them is according to their processes, according to the methodologies that they need. With this singular platform that comes to you, you will get a lot of better patient experience. You will have an integrated system throughout your hospital chain, be it a payment coming from an online method, be it coming from an app, be it coming from an HIS, which is at your provider's setup, which is being done by a cashier. It will all be integrated into a single platform. Before I quickly wrap up, I'll show you something that will be interesting to see. And that's like a so this is a quick wraparound around how the payment flow really works. And you go ahead, you see the amount coming on the machine, you tap the card, you move in, the charge bit breaks. That's the integration that all of you would be looking at. That's an integrated system that we would be preferring, and the speed at which it works. This is just one payment type that we're talking about. You select ATM, you go ahead and make the payment, and you see the payment coming in real time. walk the talk. We don't say that we do X thing and then we back from that. Whatever we say, we deliver it to you, and we give that singular platform that you're looking at. For your codes, for whatever that you need, you have filters, you have different options. You can look at the summary of your transaction, whatever has been happening, and a final reconciliation report that's available to you in real time. Card, cash, anything, whatever payment mode has happened, be it offline at the hospital location or online or mobile app, or you're sending a payment link to a patient in real time, is making a payment, and you can see that information coming in real time. And that's not this platform only, but you also see these details in your HIS. This is an integrated system, and this is the future of payments going forward. We've been talking about a lot of digitization that's happening around in the healthcare across the domain, but traditionally we've been slow, not because hospitals don't want it, not because there's no need for it, there's a need for it, but there's nobody to support them to get these kind of technologies. And we're here with an experience of more than 10 years, we're here and we're here to support you in this journey of digitization of the entire payment ecosystem. And you get that in real time. That would be it from my side. I don't want to take a lot of time and keep on talking about something that would cause a lot of time for you and make you wait for other presenters. We have a small survey that we've placed on your desks. If you could just take 2 minutes and quickly fill that out for us. If you want, I can read them out as well. If somebody doesn't have the survey, please raise their hand and I can pass the service over to them. Money coming in front. So this survey is related to the payment options being available to the hospitals and the healthcare networks. If you could provide some honest answers, it will help us understand what the problem areas for you specifically are and provide you a solution specific to that area. And once we have this information, we will be sharing the results of the survey with all of you. So this is not a private survey that we will be doing, we'll be sharing the details of it with all the members present.